So, I'm going to do something I don't normally do and read one of my pieces. This one is Spamano, Too Good at Goodbyes, and there's cussing. It's in Spanish, and I also don't know Spanish very well, so I'm probably going to screw some of the Spanish up. And my hand shakes really bad, so that's a problem. But let's see how well we can do this. We got TV projection here. So this chapter is called Popular, and it's from Romano's point of view. He comes running up the path and collapses on the other end of the park bench. He's not wearing a jacket, even though it's cold and it's pouring rain. And he's soaked and shivering. There's a handprint on his wrist and collarbone, knuckle prints on his collar, and the back of his head is sticky with blood. His hands are trembling, and he's crying. He goes to my school. He's a popular kid. Everyone loves him. He's 17. He can protect himself. He loves being hugged and touched. In contrast, I'm just a loner. Everyone hates me, except my two brothers. I'm scared of touch. I have poor blood circulation, and I'd freeze to death if I was dressed like he is. I'm 15, and I'm not strong enough to protect myself. We're opposites. He isn't nice to me, and I shouldn't care. But despite all rational thought, I do. Fuck, I grumble to myself. I scoot closer to him and reach out a hand, but he doesn't react. I pull my jacket off and lay it down between us. He doesn't reach for it. I breathe and get to my feet, picking up the coat and wrapping it around his shoulders. He now reacts, and his fingers reach up to close on the fabric. I sit down next to him. You okay? He's obviously not. But if he doesn't want my help, I want to give him the chance to lie. He shakes his head. It takes me a couple minutes to figure out how to even do it, but I scoot closer and wrap my arms around him. I've never hugged anyone, but it looks like he needs it. And he likes hugs. They seem to make him happy. He collapses into me. He's vibrating from head to toe, and not just from the cold. The rain is soaking through my cloth t-shirt. My body is already starting to freeze, but his skin is blue and he's shivering violently, so I don't protest the cold. A woman comes up the path. She's dressed warmly, her skin is a normal color, and there's a liquid blood on her fingers. He flinches away, so I move instinctively to get between them. The woman comes to a stop a few inches from me. Move. No. I'm cold, and I haven't eaten in weeks, so I'm hungry, and I'm already hurt from Hayden. But I won't let her hurt him. Not on my watch. She shoves me. I manage to stay upright, but some of the bruises on my stomach are revealed for a second as my shirt moves. She sneers. He gets slowly to his feet and backs up a few steps. No, he says shakily. She snaps a punch right into the bruises. Blood gushes out of my mouth and onto the dirt. But all I do is wipe the blood from my lips and straighten again. You're not getting near him. You don't know him, she says. It doesn't matter. He's popular and you're a stupid loner. I don't care. He's mine. The only person he belongs to is himself. She growls and punches me again. I cough and clean the blood off with the back of my hand, but again, I don't back down. I wave a hand at him. Run. But go, I insist. I'll catch up. Run. He hesitates, slides his fingers hesitantly through the sleeves of the jacket, mutters a thank you, and runs for the other end of the park, the other exit. She tries to follow him, but I don't let her. I catch her and shove her back. No. She growls. I don't like having to punch a girl. It's ungentlemanly, but she leaves me no choice. I mutter to myself, Dio mi perdoni, and punch her right in the face. She stumbles, and then tries to hit me again. I step back, let her stumble. You don't want to do this, I warn. I've taken MMA. I can kick your ass. She sneers. $100 says you can't. I do a spinning move to distract her, then the palm of my hand connects to the pressure point at the base of her neck, and she keels over. You owe me $100, I tell her as if she can hear, and maybe she can. She's just unconscious. I drag her to the police station and tell them what I know. Then I text Sebastian and tell him too. He's a lawyer, and the popular kid's gonna need one. I pocket my phone and run back to the park. I make my way through to the other exit to try and catch up now that she's gone. He's barely a few steps outside the park, and he's trembling. I reach out and grab his hand, and I drag him off to Ludwig and Feli. Feli's always talking about Ludwig's doctor father. Let's see what he can do for this guy. Once we're at the door, he gets a little uneasy, but he says hesitantly, I'm Tony. Lovino, I answer. He flinches. I'm sorry, I'm fine. I cut him off. I've dealt with worse. My brother's a lawyer, and I know a couple cops. She's already gone. And in big trouble, too. Don't worry about it. He blushes. I reach out and kick the door with my foot. I know Felly's here. He told me as much. Feliciano, fratello, vieni qui. He pops out and up to the door in about a minute. I never just come here so he knows something's wrong. He pokes his head at the door. Lavi, what's wrong? I jerk my head at Tony. Your friend's dad home? He's bleeding out of the back of his head. Tony's swaying slightly now. His trembling fingers reach up to touch his dripping wet hair, and he pulls away with bloody fingers. Oh, he says blankly. Felly turns into the house. Ludwig, is your dad home? Ludwig pops up front too. Yeah? Why? He points to Tony's bloody fingers. He's hurt. Ludwig curses and turns. Dad. A tall man pops out of the hall, followed by a skinny albino. The albino's eyes widen as they find Tony, and he reaches out to touch his shoulder. Tony. Tony doesn't answer. He looks even more uncomfortable now. I'm guessing he didn't tell his friends that his girlfriend's abusive. The doctor looks to his bloody fingers, his wet hair, the bruises on his collar and wrist. Antonio, the doctor says softly. You should have said something before it got to this point. Tony shakes his head. Scared. Too scared to... Yes. Tony cuts him off. His voice is monotone, bland. He's broken. I think he's going to pass out, I tell the doctor. Tony blinks slowly twice, and his legs start to shake. He slides my jacket off and hands it to me, then he just collapses. The doctor catches him and heads for the car. Coming, son? The albino moves to follow. Of course I am. Lavi? Felly asks. He just points to the bruises, just barely visible below my shirt, then my bloody lip. You're hurt. I shake my head. Fine. I'm fine. Felly shakes his head slowly. Mr. Baleschmidt? The doctor sighs and turns. Felly points to me. There's blood on his lips, and he's bruised. I'm fine, I say again. The doctor sets Tony down in the back seat of the car, then comes back. His finger brushes my lip, and I flinch back, and he flashes a grim smile. His eyes flick to the bruises, then he grabs my wrist with pale fingers and drags me over to the car. I try to fight him, but my body is starting to fail. He wins the fight and shoves me down next to Tony, and the silver-gray car door is slammed in my face before I can get back up. I collapse against the back of the seat in defeat. Damn. Going to hospitals never ends well for me. They call my parents and my older brother. This is going to be fucking hell. And that is the end of the chapter. If you guys like this, I will do more of it. I hope you enjoyed that. I obviously don't read my work aloud that often.